Hey guys, Tracy here, Kansas Garden Guy, Summer Pick Farms. What's going on today? Well, as you can see, it's beautiful outside today. It's about, I don't know, 40 degrees, 45 degrees, something like that. Picking up limbs. Check this out. We had a really bad line of storms come through yesterday afternoon into last night. Just lightning struck the center trunk of that tree, which you see that center trunk with that nice clean bright wood. That's where the tree split. The tree's been struck by lightning probably 7-8 times that I can remember from growing up. If you guys aren't familiar with that, I grew up here my whole life and had the opportunity to live on this farm after my parents bought another one, and so that's how we ended up here again. But anyway, this tree used to be about 6 foot tall when I was in grade school. Now mind you, that's I've slept a couple times since then, but this used to be our backyard right here, and this tree was part of my baseball backstop. And we used to have a baseball field here where me and my little brother, we used to play ball all the time, and my dad was a ball player, so we used to play constantly. That was like one of the things we used to do together besides fishing and hunting, was playing baseball. But anyway, so this tree has grown here, and then when my parents built the shop and did all this, they thought it'd be cool to have a tree in the driveway to park under. Well, come to find out, this Chinese elm bleeds a lot of sap. Limbs fall out of it constantly. I've got widowmakers in here like crazy. This tree is so tall I can't get in here and cut it down. And to have a company come in and do it, they want, I think the last time I checked, they wanted like $4,000 or $5,000 to take this tree down. So I'm letting Mother Nature do it, I guess. Pretty soon I'm going to have to come in here and cut some of these out, get rid of some of this stuff before it gets too dangerous. But anyway, the lightning struck this tree last night, and we're literally probably 30 feet from my house. I was in the middle of making dinner, and I heard the loud boom, and I was like, man, that's really close. And then I heard a lot of stuff hit the side of the house. And I was like, well, that's crazy. I wonder what that is. The wind's really humping outside. Well, what it was is all this debris from the tree blew out like an explosion, and I've got all this stuff all on the side of my house in my front yard. So it literally blew probably about 60-70 feet away from the trunk of this tree that direction. So I've got it all along the basement here. It didn't do any damage to the house, thank God, but it just, hit it like somebody threw it at the side of the house. So I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up, and then we'll take a little walk at the tunnels, and I'll show you how the tunnels fared out. The damage there, you see how it split all the way down to the ground there. You can see it coming right down there, right to the ground. So Mother Nature's pretty fickle. I mean, you can see it goes all the way up that tree there. So pretty lucky. This whole tree has stood for, well, to date myself, I'm almost 50 years old. And we moved here in, I think, 75 or 1976. So that's how long that tree was, about 5-6 foot tall when we moved here. And then we cleared, it had a bunch of brush like that, and then we cleared everything out by hand to get it to where it is right now over the last years. But yeah, I mean, you can see, look how big that tree is. Yeah, that's a pretty big tree. So yeah, I don't really want to attempt to take it down by myself, but I think sooner or later I'm gonna have to figure something out, because I don't know how much longer she's gonna be standing. Hell, she could stand another 100 years for all I know. I mean, she's already been hit with lightning half a dozen times or more. Still standing. So, or it could be one good ice storm and the whole thing's on the ground. I have no idea. But anyway, let's quit talking about that tree. Let's just take a small walk through the tunnel there, and you guys can check it out and see what's going on. Pretty much looks the same as it did last time we were in here. Last video, we had these lights out here. Last night it flipped the breaker in the garage, and when it flipped the breaker, it blew out some of these lights, and these lights aren't working. So here I go. I'm gonna have to take these things down. Like I said, it was an experiment. I'm not sure if they were gonna work at all. It doesn't hurt to try. That's what gardening's all about. It's just trial and error. If you don't try it for yourself, you can read everything in everybody's books. There are hundreds of books out from great market gardeners, great agriculturalists, great horticulturalists. until you try it, you don't know for sure. You can quote different names. I mean, I could throw out a dozen names right now that everybody's like, oh yeah, you know, but on the other hand, I'm more of a hands-on type of guy. So I like to just try it. If it doesn't work, then I say, you know what, it doesn't work. Whether it goes to watering techniques, to fertilization techniques, to varieties of stuff we grow. But everything looks really good in here. The lettuce looks really good. That second round, that's, as you can see, that second round of lettuce there is starting to really come into itself now. This Haas mix here is not getting very big. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I fertilize it just like I fertilize everything else. Maybe it doesn't like this colder weather. It may be more of a heat tolerant or a heat desirable mix. It doesn't really say on there. I thought it'd be more of a cool mix since it's got tot soy and mustard and arugula and mizuna and stuff like that. And I thought for sure it'd be a cooler weather, but hey, I'm wrong. So anyway, it's not growing as good as it did when I had it out there in the springtime. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's more of a heat desirable blend, which is fine. It's no big deal. Trial and error, right? You don't know unless you try. You can see the onions back there are looking really, really good. So kale's looking phenomenal. I love this blue curly kale. It is so beautiful. Can you guys see that? Look how beautiful that kale is. Man, I love that stuff. It's so good too. I use that in our salad mix. But saying that, everything looks really good in this tunnel so far, and that's pretty much all we've got. We can take a walk up to the new tunnel there, which I'm calling tunnel number 2, which is the all-middle Bootstrap Farmer kit. If you guys are interested in anything from Bootstrap Farmer, and saying that it's not just high tunnels, it's individual pots, it's seed starting trays, microgreen trays, frost blankets, insect netting, tomato stakes, to pieces and parts to build these high tunnels of any size. It doesn't have to be this big. It could be a small tunnel also. Make sure you check the link down below that I'm going to provide in our description. It's an affiliate link. I started using them way before we started working together. So very reliable products. Even with my AgriThrive fertilizer stuff, I've used that for the last 2 years now, before we started partnering up with those guys. And there's a link down there for AgriThrive also. But go check it out if you guys are interested. Let's walk up to the big tunnel. Well, at first glance, everything looks really good in here also. I did build, if you guys remember, I did build a drainage ditch. You may not remember, I didn't video that. So anyway, what I did on the other side, last time we were in here, I noticed a lot of setting water in here from when it really heavily rained. They said we had like an inch or an inch and a half of rain through the night in some certain parts. Whether we did or not, I don't have a rain gauge, so I don't know. But I went ahead and dug a trench on this side of the high tunnel, so as the water came off this high tunnel, it would flow in this trench out to the back and then out to my ditch drainage system. This side I don't worry about because it already slopes that direction. This is the side I was worried about. See, the cover crops are looking amazing. Nice and thick through there. You can see a lot of that radish is in there. But also you can see a lot of the, I'm going to go ahead and call it jankiness of me hand sowing this. I don't have one of them little spreader things. I used to a long time ago when I used to take care of my lawn. When I used to live in town, that was like a very big deal. You know how that goes when you're competing with the Joneses. But I got rid of all that stuff when we moved out here because I didn't need it anymore. But it would have been nice for this, but you know, it worked out. So we used 5 pounds of True Leaf Market cover crop, which was a winter cover crop mix. And all it had in it was, I think it had daikon radish, hairy vetch, winter rye. I think it had red clover and crimson clover. And I want to say there was one more. I think it was oats or buckwheat or something like that in this. And I just water this once a week with the hose just to give a little bit of moisture in here to get this stuff to grow. But man, I am just stoked on how well this grows in here. But you know, you're also growing into a high tunnel. So that kind of gives you, I don't know if I grew this outside at the same time, if it would look like this or not. But kind of gives you a perspective on high tunnel growing. I know they're pretty expensive, and they may be out of reach for some people. And by all means, I'm not a rich man at all. I mean, not even close to being a rich man. But anyway, I think this is where I'm gonna leave the video today. So leave it on that note, huh? I've got some microgreens to cut for our weekly bag service, and got some more microgreens to start up. So if you guys are interested in seeing anything like that, or talking about trays or anything like that, or I've even thought about doing a live, you know, I don't consider myself a very knowledgeable man to be giving advice to people. It's kind of a trial and error thing. I do things that work for me. You guys know that. Like I said, I don't sit around and read a lot of books and copy a lot of other people that do this and say, this is me, this is how I do it. Oh, sounds like somebody's having a good time today. But if you guys want to see me do a live, put in the comments below that you'd like to see me do a live. And I'd like to do that once, just to answer your guys' questions live and talk to you guys. I talk to 4 or 5 of you off and on a lot. I'd like to talk to a lot of you guys. I'd like to meet people from all over the world and talk to them and discuss how you guys are growing. But leave a comment down below if you'd like to see that or not. And, you know, make sure you hit the like over there in the corner. And subscribe to our channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you are a subscriber to our journey, thank you so much. We appreciate every single one of you. Once again, guys, be safe, be kind, God bless, and I'll talk to you guys later.